I said Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahushai, Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahushai, Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahushai. First and foremost, we want to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Raka Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who were a great millstone, and a blessed salutation to the Akiums and the folk on the earth to push the gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom. All right. Just want to do a little lesson on this Columbus Day, you know, and to show that this the lies that they teach us, in school about Christopher Columbus, right? Which he correct name is Cristobal Colon, right? Which was a murderer and a thief, right? And these so-called white people, they are ashamed of their history, right? Because this is what the history is about. It's about murder and theft, right? So they are ashamed of the history. When you speak about these things, they will call you a racist. You understand? But the Most High says, shameful spew shall be upon thy glory. You understand? And this is what's going on with these so-called white race. Shameful spew upon the glory. You understand? Because this is what the history is about murder and theft, right? Covetousness, right? So we know a lot of these Edomites, right? A lot of these Edomites, they're coming against Edomites because this show also the show that the nation divide, right? They show that the nation divide, and a nation that divided against itself, it can't stand. And they show your world crumbling. Your rulership is at its end, right? So with the Most High is scaling up, bringing out all your dirt, right? And you don't like it. God, it's the truth. You understand? It's the truth, right? Let me just read a piece of this article. It's all right. Let me just get a piece. It said Trump. It said Trump attract hate for celebrating Columbus, right? So he attract hate from who? From his own, from these Edomites, and also you know so-called Native American Indians and so-called Latinos who wake up to the fact that this man Columbus is our enemy, right? And you so-called white people is our enemy, right? You are our enemies, right? So he said Trump attract hate for celebrating Columbus genocidal murder day, right? Um, he said critics of U.S. President Donald Trump are once again waxing apoplectic, right? The world going back to extreme anger, right? Apoplectic. After he honored Christopher Columbus on the annual U.S. holiday, he said this dedicated to the explorer, the first land in the New World, right? He said on Christopher Columbus Day, we commemorate the achievement of this skilled Italian explorer. He said, and recognize his courage with power and ambition, all value we cherish as Americans. Trump wrote in a proclamation he issued on Monday, praising Columbus' spirit of determination and adventure, right? So this small Columbus is a murderer and a thief, right? Because when he first landed on the island of Bahamas, the Tainos and the Arawaks, the people were dwelling, these Israelites were dwelling peaceful. You understand? They were dwelling peaceful in a small land, and they show you great hospitality. But with the so-called white man, is he just a devil? You understand? He's just a thief and a murderer, right? Turn he turned on them and started slay them and enslave them. This we do. When the first land, I think was 1490 something, when he first landed on the island of Bahamas, and who were dwelling there? The Israelites, the Tainos, the Arawaks, right? They were dwelling there, right? And that's why you devils are ashamed. And when we speak these things, you saying that we racist, but it's not that we racist. That what shame for your spews on your glory. You're ashamed of your history, right? You so-called white people are ashamed of your history. Right? Let me get the next thing of this. Right? All the shame. Right? Habakkuk, right? 2:16. Right? The shame, y'all are shame. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16. He said, thou art filled with shame for glory. So, yeah, your glory, your history, you're ashamed of your history because it's just theft and murder, robbery. This how you so-called white people live by the sword, right? Everything that you get is how you get it by violence, right? He said, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee. So you so-called white people going into slavery. You got to pay for your crimes that you did, right? All the crimes that you did on the face of the earth, you got to pay for it. You're not going to get that free. You got to pay. And shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So you are ashamed of your glory. When we speak about it, you say we are racist. But this your works. So you gotta pay for that. You gotta pay for that. We need justice. You gotta pay. And Yahweh Hashem Yahushua gonna judge you so-called white people. It's He who gonna judge you so-called white people. It's He who gonna destroy your kingdom. He's who gonna put y'all in slavery and destroy y'all after 1,000 years. Right? So y'all gotta pay for the crime. Right? Y'all gotta pay for that crime. Right? We go into some of this Columbus Day history. And now and the so-called native and the so-called Latinos are Israelite, right? Because after King Solomon, when he get old and he build those temple for he concubine them, right? To the idol gods, right? The Most High was angry with King Solomon, and the Most High rent the kingdom from King Solomon. He only leave Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in Jerusalem, and he give to Jeroboam the other 10 tribes, which was the so-called Latinos and the Native American Indian, and some of the Levites was with them, right? Some of the Levites was with them too, right? This is let me just skip through, right? Let me start from skip through to show that hey, these Native American Indians, the Taiwanese and the Arawaks, the Latinos and them, they are Israelites, right? They are Israelites, right? And just skip through, right? Um, start from verse 3. He said, and he had 700 wives, princes, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. So this is King Solomon, right? He had 700 wives, which are Israelite, which is princess. You Israelite women are princess, right? Now no queen and all these mad. This queen go back, the word queen go back to a harlot or a prostitute. This is where the word queen go back to check it up for yourself, right? So you Israelite women are princess, right? And 300 concubines. Concubines, or these are the heathen nation women. These are the heathen nation women are concubine, right? And his wife turned away his heart, right? Um, he said, for it came to pass when Solomon was old. This happened when he was old, that his wife turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his power, as was the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after Ashtaroth, the goddess of Zidonian, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Amorites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord Yahweh, and went not fully after the Lord Yahweh, as did David his father. Right? Then did Solomon build a high place for Chetmos, the abomination of Moab. So this is the god of Moab. So Solomon had women from Moab, which is these with so-called Chinese women today. These women was his concubine, right? He said, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. So he had Japanese women too, right? As concubine, right? And likewise did he for all his strange wife, which born incense and sacrifice unto their gods. So these concubines, he built temples to them so they could sacrifice unto their idols. And this is the transgression that Solomon did, right? He said, verse 9, and the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice. So this is what Solomon did, right? And angered the father, Yahweh, and he rent the temple from Solomon because all Israel, the whole 12 tribe was under King David and it was under Solomon, right? After this happened, the Most High rent the kingdom from King Solomon. So let me go to the point, right? Um, let me jump down to verse let me go to verse 29 to show that the Taínos, the Arawaks, the Latinos, all them was who they were Israelites that came over on this side where no mankind dwell. They first came on this side, which is land called Astarat, which is new land, right? Or they would say new world, right? First Kings 11:29, and it came to pass at the time when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem that the prophet Ahijah, the Shilonite, found him in the way, and he had called himself with a new garment, and they two were alone in the field, and Ahijah caught the new garment that was on him and rented 12 pieces, right? And rented 12 pieces. And he said to Jeroboam, take the 10 piece, for thus said the Lord Yahweh, the power of Israel, behold, I will rent the kingdom out of the hands of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. So the Most High rent the kingdom and divide it in two. That's why in the scriptures in the Old Testament you will see Judah and you will see Israel, right? Where Judah represent um, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and Israel represent the so-called natives and the so-called Latinos today, right? He said, but he shall have one tribe for my servant David's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribe of Israel, right? Verse 33. because that they have forsaken me and have worshipped Ashtaroth, the goddess of Zidonian, right? Chetmos, the goddess of the Moabite, right? And Milcon, the god of the children of Ammon. So they were worshiping the god of the god, these gods of these Hamites, the African Zidonians, the Moabite gods, the which are the Chinese, and the Ammon, which are the Japanese, right? He said, and have not walked in my ways to do that which is right. So the Most High way is right. Our ways is not right. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai ways is right, right? In my eyes, right? Salakia, right? Read it back on the top. First Kings 11 and 33. Because that they have forsaken me and have worshipped Ashtaroth, the goddess of Zidonian, which is these Hamites, right? These Africans. Chet, Chetmos, the god of, of the Moabites, which is the Chinese, and Milcon, the god of the children of Ammon, which is the Japanese, and have not walked in my ways to do that which is right in my eyes, to keep my statutes and my judgment, as did David his father, right? They say, howbeit, I will not take the whole kingdom out of his hand, but I will make him prince all the days of his life. For David my servant's sake, who I have chosen, because he kept my commandment and my statutes, right? Um, he said, but I will take the kingdom out of his son's hand and will give it unto thee, even 10 tribes. So with the Most High do, the Most High divide the nation, right, into two, right? He gave Jeroboam 10, and he leave the one tribe in Jerusalem, which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? He said, and unto his son will I give one tribe, right, which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, that David, my servant, may have light always before me in Jerusalem, the city which I have chosen to me to put my name there, right? He said, and I will take thee, and thou shalt reign according to all that thy soul desire, and shall be king over Israel. So Jeroboam was king over Israel, right? Right? The Most High divided, leave one tribe in Jerusalem, right? And the Most High remove the 10 tribes because they were going off, right? They were going off, right? You know, they were worshiping all these other gods. They were going off, right? So the Most High, what the Most High do? The Most High remove them out of his sight, right? Let me get this one in, right? The Most High remove them out of his sight. This to just show that, hey, the so-called Latinos and Native American Indians, they are Israelites, right? And that's why these things happen to them. You know, this devil, Christopher Columbus, come and start to slaughter them, right? Right? Second Kings 17, right? Right, this is Second Kings. So that, yeah. Right, Second Kings chapter 17. Let me start from verse, we start, right? Yeah, this is, Second Kings chapter 17, verse, 15. And they reject his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimony which he testified against them. And they followed vanity, and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them that they should not do should not do like them. And they left all the and they left all the commandment of the Lord their power, and made them molten image, even to carve, and made grove, and worship all the hosts of heaven, and serve Baal. And so this what Israel was doing, right? That was exactly what Israel was doing. Let me get a precept because we go back to First Kings 12, and um, right, right, let me go to First Kings 12. Yeah, quick precept, right? First Kings, First Kings 12, and let's see, we start from 19. Right, right. First Kings 12 and 19. Right, First Kings 12 and 19. So Israel rebelled against the house of Judah unto this day. Right, so Israel is you so-called native, and you so-called Latino, which is the northern kingdom, and Judah, right, which the house of David is the southern kingdom. Right, and it came to pass when all Israel hear that Jeroboam was come again, that they sent and called him unto the congregation, and made him king over all Israel. He said, there was none that followed the house of David, but the tribe of Judah only. So there was a separation. The Most High separated after King Solomon went off when he was old. So the Most High separate Judah and Israel, right? Which is the same people, the same family, right? He said that's why sometimes you see in the Old Testament you can see Judah and you can see Israel. In the New Testament you can see Jews there, you can see Gentile. I might see Jews and Greek. It's the same people, right? Because we were the whole nation fall off. The whole nation went astray. Each and every one we break the covenant. So at once upon a time we were in a Gentile state of mind, walking in the ordinance of the heathens, not knowing that we are Israelites, right? Verse 21, and when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah with the tribe of Benjamin. So you see, Judah and Benjamin is these were the tribe that lived back in Jerusalem, right? He said, and 480,000 chosen men, which were warriors to fight against the house of Israel, to bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam, the son of Solomon. So what it was going to do is to fight against the brother to subdue them, to bring them back to war, to the house of war, to bring them back to the house of David, which is was King Solomon's son Rehoboam, to bring them back as well, one family, right? But what the Most High separated because of prophecy, right? The Most High separated, right? He said, but the word of the Most High came unto Shemiah, the man of the Most High, saying, speak unto Rehoboam the son of Solomon, king of Judah, and unto all the house of Judah and Benjamin, and to the remnant of the people, saying, thus said the Lord, ye shall not go up nor fight against your brethren, the children of Israel. So they are what? They are brethren, right? Return every man to his house, for this thing is from me, right? He said, they hearkened therefore to the word of the Lord Yahweh, and returned to, he said, and returned to depart according to the word of of the Lord Yahweh, right? And this is what happened here now, right? Verse 25, then Jeroboam built Shechem in the monk of Ephraim, and dwelt therein, and went out from hence, and rebuilt Penuel. And Jeroboam said in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David, right? So they don't want what they were hoping that the northern kingdom returned, right? He said, if this people go out to do sacrifice in the house of the Lord at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn again unto their Lord, even unto Rehoboam king of Judah, and they shall kill me, and go again to Rehoboam king of Judah. And this is what Jeroboam was saying in his heart, right? Whereupon the king took counsel and made two calves of gold, and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem, because I have to go up to Jerusalem three times a year. Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, Feast of Tabernacle, right? They go up to Jerusalem to worship. So what Jeroboam do? He built two calves, right, of gold, and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold, thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt, right? And that's how Israel started going off by worshiping these false gods, right? And he set the one in Bethel and the other he put in Dan. And this thing became a sin, for the people went to worship before one, even unto Dan, right? He said, and he made the house of the high place, and made priests of the lowest of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi. Right? So this is what Jeroboam did, and this is what Israel was doing. That's why the Most High cast them out, right? Into another land. Right? That's why they were cast out. So this is exactly what Israel was doing, right? They were worshiping idols, which is the northern kingdom. So let me go back to this one here. Right? First Kings, so Salak, Second Kings chapter 17, verse 15, he said, and they reject his statutes and his covenant. Yeah, because they will start worshiping them two calf with Jeroboam built, right? He said that made, he said the covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testament which he testified against them, and they followed vanity, which is the two golden calf, right? And became vain, and went after the heathen that were wrong about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them that they should not do like them. And they left off the commandment of the Lord their power, and made them mold in image the two calf, right? We just read in First Kings chapter 12, right? Even two calf, and made grove, and worship all the hosts of heaven, and serve Baal, right? He said, and they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and use divination and enchantment, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. He said, therefore the Lord Yahweh was very angry with Israel, which is the northern kingdom, right? So-called Latinos and so-called Native American Indian. Today, this is what they're known as today, right? And removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. So what was the Most High sight? Let me go to see what's the Most High sight. Because he removed them out of his sight and leave only Judah. Right? So where Israel were dwelling, right? He removed them out of his sight. Right? Um, right, this is we get this here, First Kings, right? So lucky, let me just check this quick for a minute. First Kings 9, right? All right, let me get First Kings. First Kings. All right, First Kings 9 and start at 7. Right. So the Most High say in First Second Kings chapter 17 verse 18. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel, which is the northern kingdom, which is you so-called Latinos and so-called Native American Indians today, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only, which was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, part of the tribe of Levi, because another part went with the the other with the other 10 tribe, right? Um, so we get First Kings 9 chapter 7. First Kings chapter 9 verse 7. Then will I cut off Israel, the northern kingdom, out of the land which I have given them, right? And this house which I have hallowed for my name will I cast out of my sight, and Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all people. That's why they call them Spanish, they call them Native American Indian, Taino, Arawak, right? Byword. This is how they become byword, right? And a proverb among all people, right? He said, and at this house which is high, every one that passeth it shall be astonished and shall hiss, and they shall say, why had the Lord done thus unto this land, unto his house, which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You are the house of the Most High, right? He said, and they shall answer, because they forsook the Lord Yahweh, their power, who brought forth their father out of the land of Egypt, and have taken hold upon other gods, and have worshipped them and served them. Therefore had the Lord Yahweh brought upon them all this evil, right? You understand? All this evil he brought upon them, right? Let me get one more before I go back to the next one. So like, let me get Deuteronomy, right? So the Most High cast him out to his sight, right? Out to his sight, right? Deuteronomy 11, which the Most High sight is the land of Jerusalem, right? Right? So let me go back to this. Second Kings chapter 17, verse 19. Also Judah kept not the commandment of the Lord, their power, but walked in the statutes of Israel, which they made. Right? So Judah went off too, right? It said, and the Lord reject all the seed of Israel, which is in the northern kingdom, and afflict them, and deliver them into the hands of spoilers, until he had cast them out of his sight, right? And the Lord's sight is in Jerusalem, right? This is the Lord's sight in Jerusalem, right? So, he said, for he rent Israel from the house of David, divided, right? And made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king. And Jeroboam drove Israel from following the Lord, and made them sin a great sin, yeah, by worshiping them calves, them gold calf, right? For he said, for the children of Israel walk in all the sin of Jeroboam, which he did, they depart not from them, until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophet, so was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. You understand? Right? So let me just read this one in Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 12. He said, a land which the Lord thy power care for, the eyes of the Lord thy power are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. And what land was that? The land of Jerusalem. And this we cast them out from, right? That is we cast them out from. This we eyes is being on the children of Israel, right? 2 Kings 17:24. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Kutan, and from Hava, and from Hamath, and from Shapharvim, and placed them in the city of Samaria, which is in Israel, right? He said, instead of the children of Israel, and they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the city thereof. So the Most High cast the northern kingdom out of his sight because they were being wicked, right? They were being wicked, and the Most High cast them out of his sight. And there's how they come on this news, and there's how they came on this side, right? Second Ezra, right? Chapter 13, we start from verse 39, right? And there he said, and whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, he said, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hosea, king, who Salmanasar, right, the king of Assyria, lead away captive and carried them over the water, and so they came into another land, and the 10 tribes of the Israelite, the northern kingdom. That's how they came to another land. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go, Salakia, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwell. That's why when Christopher Columbus, that criminal, came on this side, who he found? He found the natives, so-called natives, and he found the so-called Latinos, right, who are Israelite, right? That's who he found, right? The devil didn't discover nothing, right? The so-called white man history is just lies. Everything about this history is lies. You understand? This is why they're ashamed of the history and they try to cover up everything, right? You understand? Right? So okay, let me just plug up this computer, right? Yeah, right? So they came into another land, right? He said, verse 41, he said, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into the further country where never mankind dwell, that they might keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land, which is the land of Samaria, right? And they enter into the Euphrates by the narrow place of the river, for the Most High then showed sign for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over, right? Verse 45, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Ashtaroth, which the David says new land or the new world, right? He said, you understand? So where they came, they came to the land where no mankind was dwelling. You understand? This would say right to the top in verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwell. So they came on the side known as the Americas, North and South and Central, right? And the West Indies, right? They were the Northern Kingdom. They came on this side, right? Which is the same region as called Ashtaroth, which is New Land, or they'll say New World. You understand? Right? So that's why when Columbus come, we find, right? This is a Columbus Day, True Legacy, Cruelty, and Slavery, right? Um, let me just get a quick run through of this, right? All right. Let's get a quick run through and let's get some precept. Right? This is just show that the so-called Native American Indian and so-called Latinos, they are Israelites, right? They are Israelites. And it's they who Columbus came on this side, and when he came on this side, this is who we see. You see the Israelites, right? It's it's once again, it is the time to celebrate Columbus Day, yet the stunning truth, right? Salakio, right? He said, right? He said, yeah, he said, yet the stunning truth is Columbus, right? Christopher Columbus were alive today, he would be put on trial for a criminal against humanity, right? He said Columbus' reign of terror, as documented by Note historian, was so bloody, his legacy so unspeakably cruel that Columbus make a modern villain like Saddam Hussein look like a codfish, right? He said, we honor a man who is, why do we honor a man who, if he were alive today, would almost certainly be sitting on death row waiting execution? And they ain't truth. Because the Rothschild, Rockefeller, DuPont's, Goldman Sachs, they commit great murder against humanity. And they ain't sitting waiting on no death row, you know. And Christopher Columbus could be back here today. Because you so-called white people, you are your fourth parents. This is why I like to say you didn't date your fourth parents, but you are your fourth parents. Because going back to reincarnation. You understand? So you are your fourth parents. You are back here today for your judgment. Right? You are back here today for your judgment, right? He said, if you did like to know the true story about Christopher Columbus, please read on. But I warn you, it is not for the faint-hearted, right? So we go into some of these. He said, here is the basic. On the second Monday in October each year, we celebrate Columbus Day. This year, it is on October 11th. We teach our school kids a cute little song that goes, in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He said, it is an American tradition as American as pizza pie. He said, or it is. Surprisingly, the true story of Christopher Columbus have very little in common with the myth we all learn in school. Columbus, as we know, it is the United States was invented by the Knights of Columbus, a Catholic for fraternal service organization. Back in the 1930s, they were looking for a Catholic hero as a role model their kid could look up to. In 1934, as a result for lobbying by the Knights of Columbus, Congress and President Franklin Roosevelt signed Columbus Day into law as a federal holiday to honor his courageous explorer, or so we thought, right? So, what I said, these so-called white people, your history is all about theft and murder. And right now, all your dirt coming up into the light, so you're ashamed of your filth. You're ashamed of your filth. And now you can say that, hey, we are racist. No, we speaking the truth, right? You so-called white people got to deal with this, and you got to pay for it because this is who you is. This is your true color. You can't hide it anymore with a plastic smile. You can't hide it anymore, right? He said, there are several problems with this. First of all, Columbus wasn't the first European to discover America, right? You cannot discover it because what? Because the Israelites were already dwelling there, right? The Northern Kingdom, right? He said, as we all know, the Viking Leif Erikson, probably founder of Norse village on the Newfoundland, right? Some 500 years earlier. So hats off the leaf. But if you think about it, the whole concept of discovering America is, well, Oregon. After all, the Native American discovered North America about 1400 years before Columbus was even born. Surprisingly, DNA evidence now suggests that the courageous Phoenicians adventured, sailed to dug out canoes across the Pacific and settled in South America long before Vikings, right? And we just read, they just read in the Bible that they leave the Assyrian captivity and came to the land of Ashtaroth, where never no mankind dwell, which is the which we call the New Land or the New World today, right? You understand? So they are the Israelites, right? Right? He said Columbus wasn't a hero. He said Columbus wasn't a hero. He said when he set foot on the sunny beach in Bahamas on October 12th, 1492, Columbus discovered that the island were inhabited by friendly, peaceful people called Lucanian, Taino, right, and Arawaks, right? These were Israelites. This is the name they call them, right? He said, written in his diary, Columbus said they were an handsome, smart, and kind people. He knew that the gentle Arawaks were remarkable for their hospitality. They offered to share with anyone when you asked for something. They never say no, he said. The Arawaks had no weapon. It is part. Their society had neither criminal poison, 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 nor prisoners. You understand? Right? So their society were it were clean. They had no crime. You understand? They had no prisoners. You understand? He said they were so kind-hearted that Columbus noted in his diary that one day the Santa Maria was shipwrecked. The Arawaks labored for hours to save his crew and cargo. He said the native people were so honest that not one thing were missing. So, hey, these Israelites from the Northern Kingdom, they 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 show great hospitality to who? These devil, right? But you see, if they listen to the Heavenly Father, the Most High said, trust not thy enemy, right? Trust not thine enemy. Let me get that, right? And our enemy is the so-called white man, right? But when we say them thing, we racist. We have enemies. There's nothing you could do about that. We have enemies. And you so-called white people are our number one enemies, right? You are our number one enemy. And the truth is hard, right? The truth is hard, right? Okay, this one is Psalms 50 and 20. Psalms 54, Psalms 15, 20. The truth is hard. You understand? Right? It's like in Psalms, right? Psalms 55, right? Let me read this. This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 10, verse 12, right? Because the Northern Kingdom showed these devil great hospitality, right? And you see, before set the foot on island of Bahamas, and who were dwelling in the Tainos and the Arawaks, who today are the Israelites, right, from the Northern Kingdom, right? And they show you great hospitality. They didn't, right? He said this is hey Salakia. It's 12, not 10. 12 and Salakia. Right? It's 12 and 10. Right? Yeah, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Right? Never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So iron in the pure, a piece of iron the pure estate is when they're rusty, right? So he said, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. Because these so-called Tainos and Arawaks, they open their hands to who? To this devil Columbus. You understand? They help him. And we turn back and campaign with violence, right? That's why you don't trust your enemies, right? You don't trust them. He said, set him not by thee, don't set him by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. And right now they overthrow us and they stand up in our place because they're in our land, claiming that they are the children of Israel, right? Claiming that they are the Jews, right? They stand up in our place right now, right? You spoke about people gotta pay for all this crime that you did. You gotta pay for it. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest lest he he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the end remember my words and be pricked therein. And this is what it did, right? This is what it did, right? This is Psalms 50, 55 and 20. He put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. And the northern kingdom was at peace with Columbus, right? It was at peace with him, right? Um, he said Columbus was so impressed with the hard work of these gentle islander that immediately squeezed their land, seized their land for Spain and enslaved them to work in the brutal gold mine. So these Israelites were they didn't attack him. You understand? And this is what the scripture say, right? Psalm 55 verse 20. He had put forth his hand against such as being at peace with him. He has broken his covenant. So these Israelites were at peace with when Columbus come, right? He said Columbus was so impressed with the hard work of these gentle islanders that he immediately squeezed their land for Spain and enslaved them to work in his brutal gold mine. He said within 2 years, 125,000, half of the population of the original native, right, on the island were dead. That's why never trust thy enemy. You understand? Never trust them, right? Isaiah, Psalm 55 verse 21. He said the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. And this you so-called white people. This is your spirit. This is who he is. You got to pay for all these things that you did. You're not going to walk scot-free. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua gonna bring each and every one of your work into judgment. You devil's not gonna walk free. You gotta pay for that. And how are you gonna pay? In slavery. You devils going into slavery. That's how you're gonna pay, in slavery. Right? He said his word was softer than oil, yet were they drawn sword. Right? So they draw a sword on the northern kingdom. Right? He said if I were a Native American, I always write this down like an Edomite writing there. God is what the prophecy said. The Most High said their tongue gonna fall on themselves, right? So this gonna be an Edomite writing here too, because these Edomites are so against Edomite, and this will show, like I mentioned earlier, this will show your kingdom divided, and your kingdom will not gonna stand because it divided, right? He said, if I were a Native American, And these are Israelites. This is the byword and proverbs among all nations. So these are Israelites, right? He said, if I were a Native American, I would mark October 12, 1942 a black day. And this is why we keep telling you dumb niggas. The word black go back to what darkness or total ignorance are evil, right? We are not black. We are Hebrew Israelite according to the scriptures, right? He said black day on my calendar. He said shockingly Columbus supervised the selling of native girls into sexual slavery. Young girls of the age of 9 to 10 were the most desired by his men. So this is what people was going through, right? But you Israelite wanna celebrate Columbus Day and wanna walk in these arms of the heathen. Hey, know your history. You Native American Indians, you so-called Latinos, these things happen to you. You are Israelites. These so-called white people are your enemy, right? He said, shockingly, Columbus supervised his selling for native girls into sexual slavery. He said young girls of the age of 9 to 10 were the most desirable by his men. He said in 1500 century, Columbus causally wrote about this in his log. He said 100 castellanos are as easy obtained for a woman as for a farm, and it is very general, and there are plenty of dealers who go about looking for girls. Those from 9 to 10 are now in demand. He said he forced those peaceful native work into his gold mine until they die from exhaustion. If an Indian worker did not deliver his full quote of gold dust by Columbus, he said deadline, soldier would cut off the man's hand and tie them around his neck to send a message. Slavery was so tolerable for these sweet and gentle islander people that one point 100 of them committed mass suicide. He said the Catholic law forbid the enslavement of Christians, but Columbus solved this problem. He simply refused to baptize the native people of Hispaniola, right? So this is what was happening with this devil. And this is what they're gonna teach you in the history of Columbus. They gonna give a bunch of lie saying that he discovered land and all this madness, right? Which is a bunch of lies, right? Which is a bunch of lies, right? Let me get this one here, right? You devils gotta pay, right? Amos, right? Right? You devils gotta pay for all this, right? This is Amos chapter 1 verse 11. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgression of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Right? He cast off all pity. This is your enemy. The so-called white man is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indian enemy. This man cast off all pity. Let me read this again, Amos 1:11. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgression of Edom, you so-called white people, you are the Edomite, right? And for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. So you people are going to pay. You so-called white people are going to pay. You're going to go into captivity, right? You're going to be killed with the sword, right? Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, right? And did cast off all pity. So this man have no pity for you, Israelite. He cast off all pity. And his anger did tear perpetually. This man have a perpetual hatred for you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. And he did keep his wrath forever, right? He keep your wrath forever, right? You can't trust this devil, right? Is your enemy. You Israelite have enemy. Psalms 83, you have enemy, right? You have enemy, right? Salakio, right? He said, on his second trip to the New World, Columbus brought cannon and attacked dogs. If native resist slavery, he would cut off a nose or an ears. If slave tried to escape, Columbus had them born alive. Born alive. This is where you soca white people are ashamed of your history. This is you soca white people history. This is your history. And when we speak the truth, you say we are racist. Yes, we are racist, and it's a righteous thing to be racist. It's a righteous thing to prefer your race above any other race. You understand? But you so-called white people demonize the word because you want to hide your history. You're ashamed of your history because your history is about theft and murder. Right? He said all the time he sent attack dogs to hunt them down, and the dogs would tear off arms and legs of screaming native while they were still alive. He said the Spaniard ran shortly. He said if the Spaniard runs short of meat to feed the dogs, Arawak's babies were killed for dog meat, dog food. So they would kill our babies to feed the dogs. So you devils gotta pay for all of this. You devils gotta pay for all of this. You understand? You devils gotta pay. You devils not gonna walk scot free. You devils gotta pay. Right? Slack you. Right? You devils gotta pay. Right? This is Ezekiel 35 verse 5, because thou had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. He said, therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. You understand? He said, thus will I make Mount Seir, you so-called white people, you are Mount Seir, right? Most desolate and cut off. He said, and cut off from it that passeth out, and him that returneth. You understand? And I will fill the mountain, Salakia, and I will fill his mountain with his slain men in the hill and in thy valley and in thy river shall they fall that are slain with the sword. And this is going to happen to you devils, right? Just like we do to us, it's going to happen to you devils, right? You so called people got to pay for all the blood they shed, right? You got to pay for that, right? You got to pay for that, right? Got to pay for that wickedness. This is Numbers, right? Numbers 30, 33, 35, right? Yeah, this is Numbers chapter 33, Salakia, right? Salakia, I get it wrong on this, right? Right, you gotta pay for all of that, right? You're not gonna walk scot free. You're not gonna walk scot free. You gotta pay, right? Numbers 35, 33, right? It says Numbers chapter 35, verse 33. So he shall not pollute the land wherein he are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So you so-called white people blood gonna shed, right? Your blood gonna shed for the wickedness that you did to the children of Israel, right? Your blood gonna shed, right? Revelation 13:9, right? This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. He said, if any man have an ears, let him hear. If any man have understanding, because every man have ears. So if any man have understanding, let him understand. He that lead into captivity. So who lead you into captivity shall go into captivity. So you Arabs who sell us into captivity, you Hamites, right? Which is the Africans who sell into captivity, you so-called white people, right? This is your judgment. He that lead into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killed with a sword must be killed with a sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, and this we waiting on. We waiting on justice, waiting for our Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, judge our enemy. This we waiting on justice, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai gonna judge you devils, right? He gonna judge you devils, right? He gonna judge you devils, right? Gonna judge you devils. Salakia, right? You devils gonna be judged. That is Obadiah chapter 1, verse Obadiah chapter 1, verse 15 said, for the day of the Lord is near upon all heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. And this will reward will return upon your own head. Right? It said, right? Let me just jump up. Um, right. This is Obadiah 1 and 8. Shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, which is you so-called white people, and understand out of the mouth of Esau. Esau is the father of you so-called white people, right? He said, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mouth of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. So this went up to you so-called white people. After 1,000 years of slavery, the most I can cut you off by was slaughter. Right? Because you had judgment for all the wickedness that you did on the earth. Right? For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. You devils gonna be cut off forever after you serve your slavery, your 1,000 years of slavery, right? Revelation 18 say give you double, right? Revelation 18, right? They give you double, right? This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 5. For her sins have reached unto the heaven, you so-called white people. For her sins has reached unto the heaven, and the Most High had remembered her iniquity. Reward her even as she reward you, and double unto her, double according to her works, into the cup which she had filled to her double. Right? So you so-called people can get double, you can get 1,000 years of slavery, and then you're going to be destroyed. Right? You're going to be cut off forever by slaughter. Right? That's why this is saying Isaiah 14, Isaiah 14 and 21. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. He said, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. Right? Because you so-called white people, you are your forefather. The scriptures talk about regeneration, reincarnation. You are your forefathers. Right? He said, Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their father, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with city. For I will rise up against them, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, said the Lord Yahweh. You understand? So, hey, judgment coming to you heathens, right? Judgment coming to you heathens, right? This is Job chapter 4, verse 5. So like I think is so like right. I think it's Job. So like let me get it correct. Right. Right. It's Job 5. Right. Job 5, 4. This is Job chapter 5, verse 4. So like right. This is Job chapter 5, verse 4. He said, his children are far from safety, and they are crushed in the gates. Neither is there any to deliver them. And this you so-called white people, right? None not gonna deliver you, right? You gotta pay for all your crime that you did against the Israelites, right? You understand? You gotta pay. You gotta pay for that, right? Job 27, right? Job 27 and 14, right? This is Job chapter 27, verse 14. He said, if his children be multiplied, he said, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. You understand? So if his children multiplies for the sword, right? So there's gonna happen to you so-called white people. You gotta go through the same hell that you put the Israelite through, right? You gotta go through that, right? Obadiah 1 and 18, right? This is gonna happen to you, devil. So Obadiah 1 and 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau you so-called white people for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remain of the house of Esau, which is you so-called white people, for the Lord Yahweh hath spoken it. And this is going to happen to you devils, right? You devils going to be destroyed. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. For all the wickedness that you did, right? I think I get the point over there, so, I can close, they close the lesson there. So, with that, Tobit's lesson was edifying. I want to give our praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders who rule well at Great Stone, and a blessed sanitation to the Akiums in the four kind of the earth to push in the gospel and sincerity and truth. Shalom.